Okay, good. Okay, so I will be, instructor for QA. So yeah, I know you guys did get the syllabus for QA because I didn't have any of the email ID today. So make sure you guys send email to me whoever you're interested, so that I'll be giving you various access and material, and also access to the Google Drive, where you can view a lot of information, like how to study, of course, a lot of information to study and get some knowledge of various tools. Okay, so this is the syllabus. Okay, and first class I will be giving you information on various types of testing. That will be first and second class. That will be today and tomorrow half class. Okay, and we learn various types of testing, what are the various testing, and so it's kind of introduction to testing. Okay, not just testing, but overall complete testing. So whatever testing you are in, sometimes it's a really broad pitch. Testing is not like I know software, so I can do software testing. It's not like that. It's like pretty broad range, and it has sub levels and subdivisions in it, so that you might involve in any of these, like functional testing or integration testing or system integration. So all these are actually different, not related to each other. A few of them, yeah, of course, related, so that you can perform more than one testing. But normally, it's not related to each other. So all these types of testing, we'll go and a little bit see what are the various types of testing. Tomorrow, make sure you guys don't miss tomorrow's class. Okay, so tomorrow. Okay, so I'll be giving you, information on how to do a functional listing. So you'll be having, so once this is what you'll be doing in your work, right? I mean, this is what, whenever you go, not just functional testing, you can go as a developer, you can go as a, tester, except management perspective, you know what you are going to do. So this is what I'll be giving you information, like how, we have this web application, and I'll show you how to test an application, how to open bugs. Okay, open bugs. Okay, and also you need to have an opinion that every software has bugs. In that case, you can open bugs, and that's how you can survive in your job. Because if you're going as a tester, your job is to open bugs. You need to tell them that application is not good. Okay, and really, technically the application is not always good. Okay, you just need to have good observation skills. Look at this. This is not working. Look at that. That is not working. You need to find out how to. And you open more and more issues, the more stable position you will be in your work. So make sure don't miss this class. That's tomorrow's class. Okay. Next, I'll be giving you access to this rally tool. So what exactly is this? This is a tool to manage. It's a test management tool. It's called test management tool. It's used to manage your test cases, user stories. Of course, that's not our job. Business analyst takes care of it. But execute the test cases, put the documentation, put the screenshots, put the data, whatever you have, and, open the defects, that's a major part, assign the defects to the, respective owner. So that will be developer mostly, but it don't have to be a developer. It can be, architect guy, sometimes business analyst. Okay. So let me mute this. If anyone have questions, they can, unmute it. So for now, I'm just muting it. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, so that's what, I'll be giving you access to, Rally tool, and, we can, I'll be giving you homework too. Okay. So, you can work on that, and, we'll work on that. So SharePoint, so I'll be giving you access to share. What exactly is this SharePoint? what you do is, the name itself, right? SharePoint. That means you're sharing something to the team. It's an internal team member, because you'll be working in a team. You'll be exclusively working, or you might be working in a team that's to the project, but still you need this access. So why you need this access? Because you have a lot of documents, BRD documents, look at this, you have functional record documents, TDDs, technical design documents, and a lot of documents. You need to view those documents. Okay, you don't have to write anything or something, but you need to view this, get access, download the documents, view what it's saying, prepare your test cases based on that, execute your test cases, understand this, all these things, you need to have this access. So SharePoint here, what I'm trying to do is, so we have this Jira tool, you know what, the Jira tool is good. And it has Confluence. That's what it means. Confluence is kind of SharePoint, where you share. So in Jira, you can share too. Okay, so we'll be working on that. And later, I'll be discussing various types of documents. Okay, we'll discuss on various documents, and then we'll go to SDLC. This is a methodology. What we follow. So methodology is something. It's not a tool, methodology is not a tool. It's a framework, right? It's a framework. That means it's kind of environment where you are, allowed to do. Okay, so that's called framework. Okay, so it's not a tool. Give me access. It doesn't work that way, because this is decided by management perspective. That CFO, all those guys. CTO and CFO, all those guys actually decide what environment it should be. It should be agile environment, it should be waterfall methodology, it should be helical model, or it's their own system. It all depends. So we'll discuss on that, SDLC. Then we'll go to STLC, the software testing lifecycle. Then we'll go to bug lifecycle, and then I'll discuss one class. Okay, so this is, we'll go to the various methodologies. Okay, so the waterfall, few of them. And while one class I'll take on agile methodology, because we'll get used to this terminology. This agile uses a lot of terminologies, right? We'll go through this, and it's still different on SDLC, and we'll work on that. And next, 7th class, we'll be working on Jira. So what, you have at least 4 tools, 4 access to the tools. Okay. All these are test management tools. Let me tell you. First thing is Rally. I'll be giving you access to Rally. Okay. Not today, but I know sometime later this week, or by the next week. So this is the Rally, and I'll be giving you access to that. That's a one test management tool. Another Jira. That's another test management tool. Okay. I'll be giving you access. The same thing. I mean, you don't have to know everything, but it's good to know, right? It's good to know, because you're going as experienced candidate, and when you are an experienced candidate, they expect you large. Okay, they expect you to know not just 1 or 2 things. They expect you to know everything. All right. So that's the reason. There is Jira. So I'll be giving you access this too. You can work on that. I'll be giving you introduction on HPLM. So for this access, you need to request to Tagore. Tagore will be having that access for you. So I would recommend you to go ahead and have the access for HPLM. HPLM is, I would say it's pretty much getting outdated, if it is not outdated. It's slowly, it's losing its, what you call, the way you organize the test cases, the way you do this, it's pretty much obsolete, because Jira is good, and you have Rally, a lot of good tools online. So this will be, at one point of time, will be pretty much outdated. But still, you need to know, because that was the first tool which it gave. So 9th class, I'll be discussing on QTP, a little introduction. So here's my take. Okay, so why I'm giving QTP? Because we'll all work on manual testing. So far, I didn't discuss anything about automation or tool something, except the test management tool. Here, QTP is automation, completely automation. So here you are using a tool, okay? And So the reason I introduced this QTP because I want you to be flexible. Okay, I want you guys to be flexible. In what sense? It means like, you know, whenever there is a requirement of manual testing, why don't you do in QTP too? You know, that's what I mean. Because you cannot stick to one thing. Okay, you don't know. I only know manual testing. I don't know QTP. I don't want to go. So, you know, you are restricting yourself, right? You're restricting yourself to not to get a job, right? So you need to be flexible. You know that if you have some idea in QTP, just go ahead and, you know, learn something, some few things that should be good. Whenever there is a requirement, you know, automation or manual testing, go ahead, brush up your skills. That should be good, and you know you can do this. So that's the reason, right? So as a QA, you can go as software tester, you can go as a, you know, manual tester, you know, automation tester, automation with QTP or Selenium, you know, so that helps you to get job faster. Okay, so that's the reason, you know, you have QTP. Next, I also have one more access to the tool that will be for TFS, that is Team Foundation Server. Actually, I need to request it to Microsoft. You know, that's a little bit complicated. It has access issues, and this account was actually blocked to my, you know, long back. So something happened. Somebody accessed something, and, you know, account got blocked. So let me check to Microsoft if, you know, I can do, because we have that online. You know, hopefully, let me check if there is. So that is TFS, is Team Foundation Server from Microsoft, and you know, we can work on this, and, you know, so this is a test management tool. Okay. Okay, good. So, you know, we can. Oops, maybe not. Okay. So, you know, I'll be, you know, giving introduction on that. So there's three test management tool I'll be, you know, talking about. One is Rally. The other is Jira and TFS. Of course, I'll be giving you a PLM introduction, but for access, you need to request to tag out. But 3 access, I'll be giving you. 2 is for sure. One is Rally, Jira. Let me check with Microsoft with this TFS thing. You know, it's a little bit access issue. Once it gets resolved, you know, I'll be giving you access. And, you know, 10th class, so we'll be discussing about TFS and certifications. You know, I introduced this certification because this is free. You know, it's completely free. You know, you don't have to pay a penny except for the internet. You know, you need to pay for the internet, of course. Once, you know, you log in into this, once you complete these courses, they will award you certificate. Okay, so, and there are 3 you know, 3 companies that provide you the free certification that you can check with MBA. MBA is good. Microsoft Virtual Academy, that's you know, that's good for beginners. If you're really good at it, you know, you're a pro, then go ahead with Sailor. You have just one chance in 7 days. Go ahead, write an exam. I mean, it's online. Just sit at home. Don't have to go anywhere. Don't have to pay a penny to anyone. Sit at home, complete this, and you'll get a certificate. Okay. And let me give you pretty. I'll be showing you this too, but let me give you a brief. So this is how you know, this is what you get the certificate. You know, once you complete the test. So, you know, go back. Okay, and there are 3 companies, you know, that provide it. So I actually supposed to give you guys this syllabus because, but I didn't have anyone email IDs. Like, not sure what to do. Okay, any questions so far in syllabus? So this is all, you know, about syllabus. Any questions? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any question? Okay. So yeah, you can, you know what? You can ping me, or you can unmute and you can go ahead and talk. Okay, so that's fine. You can unmute it and you can talk if you're interested. Okay, because some reason this is a little bit have some issues here. So yeah, so if anyone have questions, go ahead, unmute your mic. Okay, and you can talk. So and also you can ping me if you have chat. You can go ahead and click on the chat and you can ping me. Okay. Okay. So that is. Let's go to pretty quick. We'll go to various types of testing. Okay. So make sure guys also just I don't know, I mean it's not even one email ID. So I actually email all these links and videos and all the material, actually the material which is useful, and also I email various access to the Google Drive. So make sure you guys email me because I don't have anyone's email, so you may not get the information you're looking for. Okay, so let's go to various types of testing. Let's go one by one. We'll go in detail. Okay, so let's talk about the black box testing. Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. Some people may not hear properly. Okay. So I'll be a little bit louder. Okay. So that you'll be getting. Okay. So let's talk about the black box testing. Okay. So what is the black box testing? Okay. So in this black box testing, this is done by the testers and not by the programmers. Okay. So what is black box testing? It's a high level testing done by the testers and not by the programmers. Okay. Because internal system is not considered, and tests are based on requirements and functionality. Okay. So that's called black box testing. Okay. To make it simple, black box testing is a high level testing done by the testers. Okay. And not by the programmers. And what, your boss cannot say to you, okay, did you complete black box testing? No, that's not a valid question. Okay, because black box testing is done at the team level, not at individual level, right? Because a lot of internal functionalities are considered here. You want to do this functional testing, you want to do system testing, you want to do integration testing. So there are like 4 to 5 testing that has to be completed so that you can say black box testing is done. Okay, so your boss always confuses you. Don't get confused. Okay, so they might say, okay, have you done your black box testing? So now you need to explain to them saying that black box testing is a high level testing, okay, which is done by the testers, which includes various types of testing in it. Okay, so it's not done individual level, it's done team level. Okay, so let's take an example here. Okay, tests are based on requirements and functionality. Okay, so let's go pretty quick. So here is let's talk about it a little bit on functional. We'll go in detail in a moment. And so this is, let's take an example here, Amazon.com. Okay, I'm sorry, Google.com. Amazon will work on that later. Okay, here, what is a functionality? Functionality can be anything. Functionality can be a whole web page, images, okay, URLs, text, okay, edit bar, drop down box, radio buttons, so on and so forth. Okay, so a lot of functionalities, which consist of all of this and more. Okay, so everything here is a functionality. If you look like, if you want to see here, right, this URLs, okay, this app button, okay, this edit box, okay, so this is the edit box, right, or whatever you want to call it, Google bar or something. Okay, and these buttons, Google search button, and random rolling down button, whatever you want to call. So sometimes it's pretty random. So that's a button. URLs. So this is the functionalities. Okay, so these are the parts. Okay, so in a web application. So what I'm talking here is this is a web application, and these are the functionalities. Okay, so that's that's what you need to test in black box testing. So that's one of them. Functional testing is one of the black box testing, but you don't have to be like functional testing is completed, then black box testing is completed. It's not like that. Okay, because black box testing is high level. That includes many other testings. Okay, not just functional testing or and it is based on requirements. So whatever the requirements say, requirements. What are these requirements, right? Requirements. It's a document. It's a document of not only just information that is related to this application, web application or client application, whatever it is. It also is supposed to contain some screenshots. What are the information like if this button is clicked, it has to go into the next page. If that button is clicked, it has to go into this page, and so on. So all this information is documented, and it's called requirements. So there are high-level requirements. There is FRD, functional required document. There is BRD, business requirement document. So we'll work on this. Okay. So we'll go in detail on that. But here in the black box testing, it's a high-level testing done by the testers and not by the programmers. And testing is based on requirements and functionality. Okay. Now let's go to the next one: white box testing. Okay. So what is this white box testing? So white box testing is quite opposite on black box testing. White box testing is done by the programmers, not by the testers. Again, it's a high-level testing. Okay. Now, if someone comes to you to say, okay, are you done with this white box testing? No, that's not a valid question. Okay, that's not a valid question, because again, white box testing is a high level. It's done in the team level. Okay, not because they include a lot of things, system testing, unit testing, all those things are included. Then we call it white box testing. Okay, so internal logic of an application's code should be known. Okay, to do this white box testing. Okay, this is also called as glass box testing. Okay, now let's go pretty quick on this white box testing. Pretty quick, we'll just go into this. So this is okay. We go back here, google.com. We know this is functionalities. These are the okay. There is a requirement to test it. We do this. These are all functionalities. Let's view the code. Okay, so that's not our job, right? But we need to a little bit understand here. Okay, so this is the code. Okay, this is the code, and this is already in the production. So we don't do anything, and it doesn't work. So, but it works a little different in corporate. So so this is the code. This is the code for google.com. Okay, and white box testing. We are talking about this white box testing, right? So all this testing inside the code is done. Then you say this white box testing is done. Okay, might be some functionality or some feature here, located here, and all those. Okay, and this, whose job is this? Developer does this one. Okay, not we. So we don't worry. We don't worry about this code. What is this code? And what is it HTML? Does it include JavaScript? Does it include Ajax? Okay, does it include Java? Does it include? No, we don't worry about it, because that's really not our job. But this, okay, but we need to know this white box testing. So that's what inside the code. Once they have done the testing, programmers have done the testing, that means white box testing is done. Okay, so that's also called as glass box testing. Any questions so far? Okay, so if no questions, let's move to the next topic. Okay, so let's go to the unit testing. Okay. So what is the unit testing? Again, unit testing is done by the programmers and not by the testers, right? Why? Because you require a lot of detailed knowledge in that internal program design and the code. Okay. And also, so let's quickly, go to this pretty quick under the code. So let's look at this and see what's the unit testing here. So unit testing, right? So let's say, developer is testing this code. Okay, not this application. Application, this is front end. Okay, this is not exactly, you don't call this a back end, but this is the code. This is the code, and this is a front end application. This is web application. You see this? The left hand side. This is a code. I'm sorry. This is the application, web application. Right hand side, you see this is a code. Okay. Now you also have CSS here. Okay. Okay. Now unit testing. Okay. So that means a single unit. Okay. Let's say some developer. Okay. Some developer who is responsible for that and want to do some unit testing. So what it does, just a small unit. That means one particular module in that whole unit. So there's a lot. This contains a lot of things, right? This has, iframe. This also has some JavaScript, and this is HTML actually. Okay, so all this is integrated into a lot of things. So unit testing is like something. Okay, you want to test this data or test this some module. Okay, some particular module in an application in this code, application's code. So that's called unit testing. Okay. And this is done by the programmers, not by the testers. Any questions so far? Okay, so let's move to the next topic. So we have this incremental. Okay, so let's talk about the functional testing. Okay. Okay, so what is the functional testing? As we I've already talked about this. It's anything which is functional. Okay. Now let's say this is an application. This is a web application. And what does it contains? A lot of things. It contains a lot of things. Okay. It has this URL. Okay, you can call this URL or apps. This is app, Google app. Click on this. This is image. You want to see this image is right. This is edit bar. You can type here, and this is buttons. These are the buttons. This doesn't work because nothing is here. So Google. So that's understandable. This is I don't know what you want to call, but it's like a random rolling down button. Okay. And I know these are all so these are the functionalities. Functionalities of what? Functionalities of an application. This is a web application. We're talking about web application. Okay. What is web? Web means whichever you open through browser is called web application. And whichever you are installing in your system and accessing it and using that to contact the server, that's called client application. What is the difference between the client and web application? Web application is always used through browser. Client application is always, most of the time, of course, is installed in your system and you communicate that the server. Okay, so that's okay. So to test all these functionalities and its feature is called functional testing. All these functionalities. It can be edit bar, it can be a drop down box, it can be buttons, various kinds of buttons, it can be radio buttons, it can be images, anything what you sorry. Anything what you see in the web application is called functional. Okay, to test that is called functional testing. Okay, so let's see here. This type of testing ignores the internal part and output is as per the requirement or not. So you want to see this, the application is performing as per the requirement or not. Okay, what does the requirement say? Does it contain this page? Does it contain this image? The image is right, the image fonts are good, the image height is good, the width is good, if all is good, Okay, you want to compare it with what? Requirement. You know, there might be a screenshot or some information written on it. You want to compare it. Is it good? You know, is it matching the requirement? Then you want to, you know, perform your testing. So that's called functional testing. Okay, and you know, let's. So any questions so far? Okay, so let's go to pretty quick and see what are the various functionalities we can. This is Google looks simple. I mean, it's not really simple because you need to check all these, and once you do this integration, it becomes a little bit more tiresome. Let's go to the Amazon.com. Okay, let's see. Let's see this Amazon.com. Oh, let's see things here. Okay, good. So this is a complex functionality, right? This is a complex functionality. Why? Because this has images, and the images have hyperlinks. Okay, so let's say this is the image, right? Whenever you want to click on this, let's say I want to click on this. So this is navigating to different web page. You see this? So the whole big URL here, the whole web page is changed. So this is, that's a functionality. Okay, they have integrated that URL into that image, so that whenever you click on that image, it navigates to that URL, right? So that's one thing. Okay, so let me give you one more example of functionality of an application. Okay, let me give you one example here. So now let me ask you a question. Okay, let me show you something and let me ask you a question. Okay, so now I want to hover my mouse. Okay, I want to hover my mouse over the department section. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so did someone notice something when I hover my mouse over there? Can anyone say? I'm hovering in my mouse. Now, I'm not even clicking anything or doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just hovering my mouse over this department section. Can anyone say what happened? How many things are changed here? Can you say? I'm just hovering my mouse over this department section. Okay. And okay, so whenever I hover this mouse over this department section, right, there's a drop down box. If you have noticed, right, there's a drop down box which is you have a lot of options here, which again shows up a various options here. Okay, now most important thing is if you notice this, the brightness of the screen is off. You see this? This is the brightness is good. The moment I hover my mouse over it, I mean, not just this, you can also just, hover your mouse over this. Okay. The brightness, you see the background, the light is switched off. It's kind of light is switched off. That means the brightness is off. Okay. So that is also a functionality. That's what I mean. Okay. So you need to even test that. Okay. You might not notice that to start with, but that is also one of the important while you're testing an application. It can be a really requirement from business analysts saying that okay, you need to test if the background light is switched off or brightness is switched off. You need to test that, and really that is also requirement. Okay, you just look at this. Hover your mouse over departments. See this. The light is. I mean the brightness is off. Okay. So that is, example of functional. Okay, that's also functionality of an application, right? So, that's a functional testing. Okay, so this type of testing. What is functional testing? It's to test the functionality and features of an application based on the requirements. To test and functionalities and features of an application is called functional testing. Okay, so for an example, giving you the Google example here, Google, we have a lot of things to test, not just images, edit bar, you have this, Google Apps and this URLs. In Amazon, you have pretty much a lot of things to test here. You see this these are the URLs, and this is also complicated because this has images inbuilt with URLs. You need to also test that. And one of the major functionality, what I told you, like whenever you hover your mouse, the brightness is switched off. Okay, so that is an example of an functional testing. Any questions so far? So that is what you will be doing as a QA.
Can you tell me again about the integration testing, please?
I'm sorry. Okay, just can you able to type it like if you can able to type it, so functional testing is so what is the functional testing? To test a functionality and its features of an application is called functional testing. Okay, so example, I've given you example right from Google. So these are all the features and functionality. Okay, and you can test that. Yeah, just if you have any voice problem, okay, just send me. Just ping me, or even if that is not even possible, you can call me. Okay, so you can call me at my phone, or first email me. That would be good. Email me so that I'll call you back and explain you if anything is missed. Okay, so let's move to the next slide because we have pretty lot to cover. Okay. So I'll explain if anyone didn't understood any parts. So we'll go through that. Okay, you can call me up. Okay, and you can email me. Okay, first just try to email me. It's manu@ideameka.com, and we can call. Either you can call or I can call. We can talk about this whatever which I missed or which you didn't understand. Okay, so we can work on that. Okay, so let's let's move to the next topic. Let's go to the incremental. Okay, let's go to the integration testing. Okay. Okay. So in what is this integration testing? So name itself, right? Integration. That means you are integrating one application into another. Okay. So what you are trying to do is you are integrating one application into another. So here. What happens, right? Whenever you integrate something into another, right, there is a lot of chance that the code might break. Okay, so there is a lot of chance. There is a lot of chances are that the code might break because that code, which is the application, might be the new code and the other might be old code. So a lot of things happen, right? So once you integrate that, there can be issues. Okay, there can be issues that it might not work properly, and because of this one, the other code might have broken. So all these things. Okay, so that's what you need to do testing for this after integrating that application. Let's let me give you a pretty good one example here, pretty quick. So this Google Apps. Let's click here. Okay, if you're clicking here, Google Apps. You see this drop down box here? You see this drop down box? There are a lot of apps here, okay? And some of them belongs to Google itself, some of them are not. Okay, most of them is Google, okay, so they have their own apps. Okay. So here you have various apps. So 11, you have this 11 apps. So now this may belong to this domain and may not belong to this domain. So let's take YouTube. YouTube is completely different domain, right? It's not nowhere related to google.com. So youtube.com. Okay, so they have integrated that one so that whenever you click on this, you already you can navigate this page right here on this web page. So you don't have to remember any URLs. It's a long URL. You don't have to remember anything. Okay, so that's the use of this integration. Okay, now Google Drive. This is a subdomain. Whenever you click this, you see this drive.google.com. It gets navigated to that. So you're not actually typing anything. You're just clicking it. So they made it simple. Whenever you click on this, it goes into that URL. Okay, so that is integration. That means that URL and that image, they have, sometimes it might be a third-party image. Third-party URL. They have integrated into this. Okay, so let's go to a little bit pretty quick on Amazon and let's see how they have done their integration testing. So here we see this. There are a lot of website that is nowhere related to Amazon, but still they are in. Let's say this URL. This is nowhere related to okay, they might have bought. Okay, so that's a different story. But sometimes they have this which navigates this into a different web page. Okay, so you might say, what's a big deal here? Just put that URL and dump it here. That would be, that's it, and no big deal. But to integrate that something here takes a lot of, it takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. Okay, why? Because because this is something different application, that might be something different application. They have to work on different policies. They have to work on different legal issues to work it out. Only then they can fix this and put this, and you need to test, because you don't want to you want to make sure that both the applications are running. Okay, after integrating that, even this is working, that is working, you need to check both of them. So that's integration. Okay, so to test and what is integration testing? To testing and integrated modules. Okay, you have integrated to verify the combined functionality after integration. Okay, so that's called integration testing. So you are integrating one thing into another. Okay. So let's look. Any questions so far? So let's move to the next one actually. Incremental integration testing. Okay. So name itself says, right? Name itself incremental integration. That means it's keep on increasing. Okay. That integration is keep on increasing. Okay, let's take here one example here. Incremental means it's increasing. Let's see here. If I click on this Google Apps, there are different apps, right? Here you have 11 apps. Now I can click on more. So they have now more. So this is incremental. It is increased, right? Now before it was only 11. Now it has increased more. Okay. Now even more. Okay. So now they have put into different web page. That can be one web page. Okay. And you see the different apps in one page. Okay. This whole page they have dedicated to these apps, and you can see this app. So this is incremental integration. Incremental. That means they keep on increasing. They keep on adding one by one. Okay. They keep on adding a different app. They keep on increasing. That is incremental. And integration, they are integrating all this into one web page. See, look at this. You have all this in one web page. After some years, you won't even require that. You might just have the button and just go to that web page. Okay. So a lot of all applications are integrated here. Okay. Now to test that is called incremental integration testing. Okay, so let's see what is written here. Bottom-up approach for testing, there is continuous testing of an application as a new feature is keep on being added. Okay, you keep on add new functionality, new feature, and keep on test it. So that's called incremental integration testing. Okay, and mostly it is done by the programmers. Okay, even testers do this. So it depends upon what kind of environment you are, what kind of project it is, what kind of work. So it's based on that, and of course, it's done by either testers or by the programmers. Okay, so that's incremental integration testing. They keep on adding new apps day by day, and you need to keep on testing. Keep on test that. Okay, so that's called incremental integration testing. Okay, any questions? So, okay, so let's move to the next topic. Okay, let's go to the system testing. Okay, so here in the system testing, entire system is tested. So, okay, so far what we discussed is all about web application. System testing is more of a client applications. Okay, now you know that, right? The client applications are something which is installed in your system. That's not something which you access to browser. Okay, system is, whenever you say system, that means it has that system, like as a computer or whatever it is, and and whatever the applications and whatever is installed in the system, to test that is called system testing. Okay, so here the entire system is tested as per the requirement. So that doesn't mean like you need to test each and everything. That means based on the requirement. So whatever the requirement says, let's say that you are installing in some software. So now after installing the software, okay, you need to test what are the components of the software is being installed, where the where all the files are located, what the files are doing, all these things. So you need to test that. So that is called system testing. It doesn't mean that you need to test everything at once. It means once it's installed in the system, you need to test as per the requirements. Whatever the requirement says, you need to test that. Okay, that's called system testing. Entire system is tested as per the requirements. Okay, and that is one of the features in the black box. Okay. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. End-to-end testing. Okay, end-to-end testing means to test from one end to other end. So let's say you start with smoke testing, sanity testing, functional testing. Okay, once you cover all those testings, and then you say that end-to-end testing is done. Okay, this is end-to-end testing. We'll keep it simple. As a QA point of view, we'll be testing only functional. Okay, only functional testing. But if you are also working in an ETL environment, then it also includes all the ETL as well as the functional, because ETL is something which is little bit higher than QA, and that once you do ETL, that means you are also expected to do as QA, because because ETL has a lot of features and a lot of functionalities. That is back end mostly, and this is a front end. But okay, if you are considering in end-to-end testing in ETL, that means it also includes all this, source, staging, target, and then you also do this job scheduling, job testing, and then you go to the, again, it comes to the reports. So all this is, it's done. That means end-to-end testing is done. Okay. So that means from one end to other end to test an application from one end to another end. Right, starting with smoke testing, sanity testing, functional testing, integration testing, all this. Once it's done, that's called end-to-end testing is done. testing involves testing of complete application. Okay, so that's into industry. Let's move to the next topic pretty quick. Okay, so before the sanity testing, okay, there is one more called smoke testing. Let's talk about the smoke testing. So in the smoke testing, right? So what is smoke testing? Smoke testing is you want to test is it application really testable or not? So that means you want to see if the application is really, can we really test that? Is it that good, or is it so bad that even it can fail smoke testing? Okay, so what you do exactly in smoke testing is you do random testing. Let's see here. Let's go to google.com. So it's not much different on functional testing, because it's kind of functional testing what you'll be doing, but in functional testing you need to write the test cases, you need to execute the test cases, put all the documents, but in smoke testing you really not require all of this. Smoke testing is done in just matter of hours, and functional testing will take some time, at least 1 week, but smoke testing doesn't require that much time. Just have 2 to 4 hours to what's exactly smoke testing, to make sure the application is testable or not. So you'll be taking some random here, maybe this app, okay, this is working. This button, okay, good, this button is working. Okay, this button. So that's called smoke testing. Okay, to test an application is testable or not. Okay. Okay, so let me go a little bit. We have less time. So is everyone okay if I take 5 to 10 minutes? Is everyone okay with that? Okay, so there's something called there are 3 environments where you will be, most of them would be any corporate environment. When you're working, you'll be having 3 environments. What are they? Dev environment, test environment, production. Okay, now what happens with dev environment is the developer does all this coding work is in dev environment. Once the code is done, the code is moved into test environment. Okay, so once it's all checked, they check in the local machine. Once the local machine is good, they deploy into dev environment, and dev environment is successfully cleared, then they go to test environment. Okay, and once testing is done, once it's all is done, you move that code into production. Okay, so and they can have many other environments too, not just 3. The QA1, QA2, performance environment, load environment. So you can have as many as environment you want, but these 3 are common. These 3 should be there. You cannot work in dev environment. Okay, and now once the code is done in dev environment, you are senior QA and developer team, whoever is working, have to work with the middleware team to deploy that code to the test environment. You cannot just do just like that. Just press a button and it just goes into that test environment. You cannot do that. You have the different team altogether to work to move the code from dev to test, from test to production. Okay, because you need to make sure that code doesn't changes. Okay, so we have a lot of things to take care. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's move to the next. So that's introduction on various types of environments. Okay, let's go to the sanity testing. So in this sanity testing, right, you want to make sure that that software version is working or not. Okay, so let's take here. Okay, so first let's say let's go to Firefox pretty quick. So this is once let's say there's an application. Okay, they've deployed this browser. Okay, and this browser is working good. There are some issues with the browser and they fixed it. The code is changed. Now they've moved a different code. Now once it's good, we want to update this. let's say we have tested this on 52. Okay, now this is a 53. So now that means they have fixed the issues or added some new functionalities, new features, and now you are working on 53 browser. Okay, so that's sanity testing. That means you want to make sure, that different version. Okay, so you're also testing on different version, not just same application, but they fixed some issues, added some new features, they added some functionalities. Okay, and you want to make sure is it working well or not. So that's called sanity testing. Okay, so here's the definition. To determine new software is working well, okay, for your testing. Okay, so that's sanity testing. Any questions? So let's move to the next one, regression testing. So what is this regression testing? Now, once you're done with this QA testing, that is manual testing is done, in regression testing, you want to make sure, you want to automate your testing. You want to automate, okay, all your testing, and you will be using a tool, your tool like QTP, Selenium, whatever load runner, or whatever you have, okay. Normally you'll be using, so normally in companies that regression testing, when you're doing regression testing, this will not be a manual testing. Okay, whenever they are saying regression, that means they have to use a tool, some tool, QTP or Selenium. Okay, so now what is the definition here? Testing an application as a whole. So once you have done in manual, it goes into next environment. Okay, if you have another environment, that's good. And regression environment, there will be a different team, or the regression team will be testing this. Okay. Why? Because you want to automate all this and see, is it working or not. Okay. So let me give you an example. Okay. So let's say, so why do we actually require this? Okay. So the first question is, why do we really require this regression testing? So now let's say you are working as QA, functional testing, and you open some defects and all the defects are fixed, and suddenly developer guy stop by at your desk, he stop by at your desk saying that, hey, there was some issue, and we fixed that issue, and can you start testing? So what's your take in this? Can anyone answer? Like, when suddenly some developer guy stop by at your desk and tell you that, hey, can you start testing, fix some code in that application? And mind you, we have completed all our testing and we are done with it. And, so can anyone say what's your response will be on this? Okay, so what will I say is like, I've completed my testing. I've done my QA and I'm now done. So I would say, are you kidding me? We have completed all this testing. Okay. See, here's the thing, right? Whenever you're doing this testing, okay, once the code is deployed in test environment, you shouldn't, any developer should not touch the code. Okay. Once it's done, it's done. See, what the problem is, they keep on updating everything. You keep on testing, they keep on updating. Now, because they update something can get broke. Okay, something get broke in an application, and there might be a bug. Now, just because they updated something, okay, we cannot test it because we have signed off, we are done. Next week, in 2 weeks, it's going into production. So now we cannot double test. So this is called double testing. We are not doing the double testing. So that's the reason you require this regression testing, because now you would say that since we cannot test it because we are done and we have signed off, you can expect testing. You can expect some testing from regression point of view. Since we will move this code into regression environment and they will be testing it. So at that time we can figure it out if there is any issues or not. Because regression testing will be having their own test cases, will be having working on their executions, working on the speed chart and all those things. They will be working on it. Okay, and here what we will be doing, we'll be done with our testing. Okay, so once QA is done, manual is done, you just move that code. Okay, move that into, if it is the regression, then use regression environment, or if it's same environment, you can start working, just automate the test cases. So that's the reason, one of the reason you need regression testing. Okay, because we are going to automate all of this testing, what you have done, in QA, whatever you have done, we'll be automating all of that, and using tool, we'll be testing it. And so now here you're not supposed to get any issues here, because you're getting issues in regression, then QA guys, okay, QA will get caught, not regression team. So here all will be on you, because the next question from your boss will be, okay, so here's the question. Why this issue was find out in regression? Why not in QA? That's a valid question, right? So your boss will ask you a question, why this issue shows up here, why not in QA? Because it's very expensive to find issues in the later stages than earlier stages. If you have found an issue in development, that's good, it's very good, it's got fixed, it's good. Earlier it was good. Now if you find testing, now developer is very careful. Now if you find any issues there, the developer wants you to not to get issues, so they will fix everything else. But now if you get issues in regression, now you need to be serious here, because you are going to get caught on this. Says, why it is showing up in regression? Why not in QA? What testing are you doing? Okay, so that's the question. Now if it's now if you find an issues in production, now you are in trouble, right? You are in trouble, because now there should not be any issues in production when you're putting that code into production. Okay, now they'll call you, the desk, they'll call you to the desk, like, hey, can you stop by at my desk, and why this is showing up in production? What have you been tested so far? That's a question they'll ask you, and you need to answer that. Okay, so if you don't have proper evidence, you don't have proof, you are really in trouble. Okay, so that's why this is the regression testing. Okay, so we'll complete this. Tomorrow we'll complete this 6 slides. So if if you guys can give your email ID to me, I can send the slides as well as this syllabus to you, so that you can have a look, and you can see what we are going to cover in this. Okay, so any questions so far? Oops, not this. Okay, just send me an email. Okay, so here I cannot copy each and every one. Just send me an email so that so send me an email. Okay. So I'll send you all the documents, and and also the videos. If you're interested, like, you can go ahead and listen this video later. Okay, so any questions so far? So if you guys have no questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, thank you guys.